mentioned that PCOS, one of the root causes is insulin resistance. So what you
Mm-hmm.
need to do is you need to understand when will you aggravate the insulin resistance. So typically what happens is that if you imagine a graph of your blood sugar levels, you're going to see that every time you eat something which is refined carbs, something like say maida, breads, pastas, all of these things, or even sugar, your blood sugar level spikes instantly. So what we have to do is we have to eat food which will make sure that the blood sugar level does not spike. It stays relatively stable. Foods that will do that are foods that are rich in fat, because fat is a very complex molecule. So by the time it breaks down and creates blood sugar, it's a very, very slow process. So number one food that you need to focus on is foods which are good, which contain good fat, because I know a lot of people who have been asked to lose weight for PCOS, they end up reducing their fat intake and no ghee on the roti, etc. So what you have to do is you have to not be scared of fat anymore. You need to eat a good amount of healthy fat. And so the healthy fat would be anything that comes, is natural. So almonds, avocados, all nuts, all oil seeds, they're all great. Even cashews are not bad. People are scared of cashews, those are great. So you need to look at these. And even if you're cooking, you want to cook with ghee a little bit more. You want to use ghee in your roti and your dals and your rice, etc. So the number one thing would be to increase your fat intake. The second thing is to reduce your carbohydrate intake, obviously. So in order to reduce your carbohydrate intake, I think a very good first step is that you eliminate processed food. So eliminate all your biscuits, biscuits, breads, instant noodles, just eliminate that entire group of processed food, which is very maida heavy. So first do that. And then once you aced that and you're comfortable in this new life, then you want to also reduce the amount of whole grains that you eat. So instead of eating three rotis, bring it down to two rotis. And instead of, if you feel hungry, eat more vegetables, but don't eat more of the rotis. So you want to stop counting the size or your portion by the number of rotis that you eat. Instead of that, make sure that you're eating more vegetables and you're reducing the amount of carbs. So that is the second thing. The third thing that you want to do is you want to eliminate gluten altogether. Now, gluten may not be a problem for everyone, but it gets very difficult for you to kind of do a self assessment. So, if you are doing this on your own, then gluten is something that the minute you eliminate, what happens is that it's basically it causes a slight inflammation inside. So it may not cause this for everyone, but for a lot of people it does cause. Mainly because the gluten that the wheat that we get now is very processed. So the molecule of the gluten itself is a very different one now. So what you want to do is eliminate gluten. When you eliminate gluten, you have to eliminate wheat, rye, and barley. When I talk about wheat, that includes rava. So rava idli is not healthy. You're going to a South Indian restaurant, eat regular rice idli. So eliminate rava, eliminate breads of all forms, biscuits. So look at the ingredients and identify where you're really getting the gluten and eliminate all of that. So that's number three. Number four is eliminate dairy. Now, dairy, if you have access to, if you're living in a farm or you have access to the milk from a cow that is taken good care of, who's not injected with hormones herself, you can have that milk. But that's rare. Again, in the city, it's very difficult to get that. So that's why eliminating milk helps, because the cows in general, there's so much hormone that is injected. It also ends up coming into the milk, and then that's actually one of the main reasons why so many girls are getting PCOS now. So you want to eliminate milk, and the last thing would be, I think, eliminate sugar. I've spoken about refined carbs, but eliminate sugar. Like focus on sugar as your biggest enemy. Just keep this in your mind. When I say sugar, I also mean jaggery and honey and maple syrup and all these other, cousins of the sugar family. You want to eliminate the entire family. This is probably one of the toughest because the hormonal balance also causes a little bit of a sugar craving. So it will be difficult, but the thing is, the minute you increase your fat intake, the sugar craving reduces drastically. So these are the 5 foods I would want people to avoid. Heard that fruits are like the best thing to eat and it can do no harm. But the thing is that we don't live the same way that we did, say, 50 years ago. We are so sedentary, our stress levels are constantly high, we are only in front of a screen. Life has changed a lot. Now, when your life has changed, you cannot be following the same guidelines that made sense, say, 50 years ago. So at the moment, fruits are not unhealthy, but you have to make sure that you're picking up the low GI foods. Now you'll get the list online; it's very easily available. But just a few things that you should know is that mango is medium GI; it is not high GI. Mango is okay for you. Banana is okay for you. So all these foods which are notorious in PCOS are actually okay for you. You can have any fruit, but just make sure that you're eating a small portion. And if your symptoms are very, very high, then you may need to restrict it to one portion in the day. And you may need to only have the low GI foods like apple and pear and orange. Then you may have to do that. But if you're just someone like me, I have PCOS, but I am pretty much well managed. On most days, I'm doing okay. In that case, there is no limitation, but just make sure no limitation in terms of what kind of fruit, but don't have more than 2 fruits in the day. That is something that you do need to do. Dairy in general. So if you have, again, I go back to the thing, if you have an organic source of curd or dairy, you can have it. Otherwise, you should generally avoid it. Also, some people have a lactose issue. So
Mm-hmm.
one aspect of dairy is the hormones that are coming into the milk. The other aspect is the lactose itself, the milk sugar. Now, the milk sugar is what really irritates the gut and causes a lot of internal havoc. So if you have an organic source, then also I would say try and have curd, because curd is fermented. So the lactose breaks down, and then when you're having it, it's going to be great for your gut. So you can do that, but this is again dependent on the source that you have. So I would still
Okay,
recommend exploring like a coconut yogurt or something if you like the taste. But I personally feel that just going off dairy is more important. So yeah, brown rice, brown bread, breads of all forms should be eliminated unless you're making it at home and you're making it with really good ingredients. It's still okay, but otherwise bread should be avoided altogether. Brown rice, the problem is that the coat of the rice which is left is actually toxic for some people. So you want to not have brown rice. You can have white rice without guilt. I don't know why people are scared of white rice. You can have a little bit. Try and get unpolished if possible. But the best thing to do is have red rice, black rice, buy the local varieties. Like I travel wherever I go, I end up picking up local varieties of rice. So that is unpolished for sure. That's a lot better for you for sure.